Before I start, I want to say one thing. After my last video, a lot of people messaged me on Instagram and commented on YouTube asking if there's any kind of community or group where EV riders can discuss issues, experiences, updates, and real world problems. So, yes, I am planning to start a small community on Telegram. I'll share the link in the description so you can click on it and join the community. This won't be only for ultraviolet owners but for EV bikes and cars in general, so people can openly discuss issues and help each other with real experiences. Now, coming to what actually happened that day. That evening, I went out to have dinner. It was night time. I parked my X47 outside the restaurant and went in. After finishing my dinner, when I came out, I could see a lot of people, youngsters and others, looking at the bike. And honestly, that's normal. The bike is still new, it looks good, and people do notice it. So I sat on the bike, turned the key, and tried to start it. And it didn't start. The display was on, but the bike just wouldn't move. People were still standing there and watching. You can imagine how awkward that feels. Everyone is looking at you and the bike just refuses to start. I didn't want to feel embarrassed, so I took out my phone and started talking to my friend. I was like, "Bro, where are you? I'm waiting here, just come fast," hoping that people would eventually leave. But they didn't. I tried again. Key off, key on, still nothing. That's when I knew something was wrong. So finally, I pushed the bike a little forward and parked it in a narrow road nearby, away from everyone. Then I started calling the Ultraviolette support team. A technician contacted me and guided me through some basic checks. They asked me to remove the back seat and check the two yellow-colored fuse pins. They told me to remove it and plug it back again. In most cases, that solves the issue. I did exactly that, but in my case, it didn't work. At that point, the technician gave me the RSA number and asked me to call them. I called RSA, and within around 15 minutes, the guy arrived. He was very calm and helpful. Since it was night time and the service center was closed, he loaded the bike into his vehicle and dropped both me and the bike safely at my home. He explained that in the morning, the RSA team would contact me again, take permission, assign a new task, and then take the bike to the UV service station. That was the plan. But honestly, that night I couldn't sleep. When you spend around 3.5 to 4 lakhs on a bike and something like this happens, it stays in your head. Around 4:15 in the morning, I went to the bike again and tried to start it. And luckily, it started. That moment itself made things clear for me. This was not a mechanical failure. This was clearly a software-related issue. After that, I uploaded the video explaining what happened. The next day, I was honestly surprised. There were a lot of comments on YouTube and messages on Instagram. Many people said they faced similar issues. Not just X47 owners, but even F77 owners and Super Street owners. Some F77 owners told me they faced this earlier, but after software updates and service checks, the issue never came back. X47 owners also shared similar experiences. Everyone said the same thing. It's not a permanent issue. It's software related, and once patched, it gets resolved. After seeing all this, the Ultraviolette team contacted me again. Technicians from the Bangalore team called me directly and explained everything properly. They told me that the bike needs a software update and patch to fix the startup problem. The entire process was done remotely. First, they sent an update to the bike. I received a prompt on the display. Once I accepted, the update started. After that, they asked me to accept a second step, and at that point, they told me to connect the charger as soon as it restarts. In Ultraviolette's system, the charger acts like a key. For any major update or patch, the charger must be connected. Once connected, I accepted it again, and the final patch and update process started. The whole thing took around 20 minutes. After that, the issue was resolved. The traction control, which was earlier locked, is now unlocked and working properly. The startup issue has been cleared. They also shared their contact number with me and told me to directly contact them if I face any issue again. This is where I want to talk about after-sales support. Problems can happen with any vehicle, EV or petrol. What really matters is how the company responds. In this case, I didn't go anywhere, I didn't pay anything, and everything was handled professionally through calls and software updates. That kind of support builds trust, and this is one of the main reasons I personally suggest Ultraviolette to people. If I compare this with other EV companies, for example, Ola, after-sales support becomes extremely important. EVs are software-driven machines and service quality matters more than just specs on paper. There is one more company I'm personally watching closely, Rapti T30. Their CCS2 fast charging support is a big advantage, but the bike is still not out, and it needs time and real-world usage to understand reliability and service experience. Until that history is built, support quality remains unknown. Since this issue has now been completely resolved, I'm planning to delete the old video. I don't want someone to watch only that video, miss this update, and get the wrong impression. This video completes the story, the issue, the experience, and the resolution. Next video is very interesting, since I will speak about 20 things about the Ultraviolette X47 crossover. Subscribe and let's meet in the next video.